Jiggy Show, where jiggy people do jiggy things.
Welcome to the Jiggy Show. I am your host, Bob Smooth. This is episode, I don't know what number it is, to be honest. Took a little break last week. A little hiatus, time for myself through this coronavirus. But now we're back. I think this is maybe episode like 14 or 15. I'm not quite sure. But it's gonna be a dope episode because I just found out that our third guest of this episode is a fellow podcaster himself, and Keith, of course, my guy. He will introduce himself. He also is a podcaster, so this is gonna be a dope ass episode. And I'm gonna let them introduce themselves first and introduce their podcast. Shut yourself out. Put yourself out there. And like they're in the West Coast, I'm in the East Coast. It's early as shit for them right now. And
we all right.
But yeah, fellas, yeah, go ahead, man. Introduce yourself and let the people know who you are.
All right, I'll go first. Yo, what's good? This is Mills Thursdays, aka Real Deal, aka Do Rag Millie. But I ain't got the do rag on right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm messing with y'all, man. Yo, this is Keith. This is a long time coming.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to you, Kenny. You know what I'm saying? I love the podcast. You've been doing it for a minute, man. And you're right. What you said earlier about, just taking a little hiatus for yourself. Yeah, that's the most important. That's the most key. You know what I'm saying? And especially with the content being put out, you know what I'm saying? So I respect what you just said. But, yo, this is Keith, as you see, from Virginia. As you know, most of the people you watching this from Virginia. Now I'm in L.A., you know what I'm saying? I had to do it. I love it. I love it out here, man. Enjoying myself. And, that's me, man. If you want to know, I'm an actor as well. But holla at me. You know what I'm saying?
Big movie screen.
Get at me, man.
Big movie screen.
Yeah,
movie screen.
You already
TV.
All day.
Yeah. All American, we see you. We see you.
Nah, that song's slight, you know what I'm saying? Song's slight, when this thing gets back, it's gonna be real, yo. When they open the studios back, oh yeah, we on.
I like it.
We on.
All right, Mike, go ahead. You gotta come in strong too. You gotta come in with that energy.
All right. Okay, so my name's Michael, aka Mike Kim. I'm a stand-up comedian.
Ooh, I like that.
The monthly show at West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica, which is where Adam Sandler had part of his Netflix special. So if you watch that shit, you'll see West Side Comedy Theater. Gotta throw that in. And I have a podcast, like Kenny was saying. It's called The Set Breaker, 3 words. You can find it on Instagram at The Set Breaker, 1 word. And it's just the podcast where we just get real as fuck. We get as raw as possible. We do not stay shallow because we don't like the bullshit.
Oh, word. I like that.
Nah, we don't bullshit.
I like that. I like that.
Nah.
I like that. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Let me say my podcast, too. Mills Thursdays podcast, yo. 1 word. He said set breaker. I was like, shit, why not put my shit in? You know what I'm saying? Mills 3 people doing a podcast, and you already know what it is. So check out all of us, dog.
Facts. No, and it should be like this. It should be like a atmosphere where we all are able to collaborate and like even come and have a conversation and show each other love, which is dope, and I love it. But I wanted to talk about this topic because I feel like it's something that a lot of men try to shy away from, or there isn't like a safe environment to have these conversations, or it just doesn't happen, which it relates to like men being vulnerable and being able to express themselves. And why is it so hard for men to even discuss and have those kind of conversations with each other? And like, why not talk to you two about it? And like, as we're jumping in, I wanted to like, my first question and like, to you two is like, what's your definition of a man? What qualifies somebody as a man?
First of all,
talk to
being
me.
real. being real, being honest, you know, and doing what you're supposed to do, you know, whether that be male or female, honestly, just as a person, I just say living in your truth, living in honesty. You know, if you have something to say it. Don't hide it, you know, because I feel like what I know, when you conceal things, it'll hurt in the long run because you're not able to express yourself. So with that, being a man, you got to be honest, honesty, and express yourself and do what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? And that's just mine. That's mine. That's like my own personal experience as being a man. So what about y'all? What about y'all?
Yeah.
Mike.
So for me, it ties in heavily with what Keith said, but also being emotionally vulnerable, like very, very real with like how you're really feeling, like what's going on, because a lot of guys, we tend to suppress that because we think it's weak, and by doing that, then we do some weird manipulative behavior where we're like tiptoeing around it, and it makes us get really strange. You know, whether that be like it could lead to cheating. You know, it could lead to aggression because we feel so fucking crazy. Can I curse on this?
Yeah, oh yeah. Do you? Be you? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
you can definitely curse. You're straight.
Okay, hell yeah. But yeah, like just being, you know, transparent on every level possible and not being afraid to be direct, right? Because a lot of dudes will act like, you know, they'll work out a lot. They'll try to be as hyper masculine as possible, like as like that tough guy. But their biggest fear is being honest to a female about how they feel.
Okay.
Out of all things in the world, they're afraid of that, right?
Okay. All right. So, so you guys are talking about like, I actually wasn't even trying to go in this direction, but I like it because this just happened. But like, you guys talk about being expressive and being honest, and yeah, like your example, like a guy being fearing of expressing himself to a woman, but in the outside he's like all strong and buff, but then like. But how does that look like? How can somebody do that? How can somebody be okay to express themselves and be vulnerable? Because we live in a society where that picture is not necessarily painted easy for every man to do that. You feel me? So like, when do we get to that comfortable place where you can do that?
Experience. Obviously, that'll come. You know, first things first. You know, you see things on TV and, you know, they'd be like, okay, this is how you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to be. So then sometimes we just follow that, you know what I mean? Because we see things first. We follow it and then come to find out that's actually not me. So then you're not living in your truth. You can be this big, tough guy. You know, we in the weight room, we doing our thing. But what we have to figure out is the mental aspect. Like we don't train that muscle.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, sorry. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying, like, how do you find that? How do you get to that place where you train that aspect? If, like, all you do when you're raised and you, like your whole upbringing, it really hasn't been your dad coming to you and be like, "Hey, son, talk to me about your emotions. Talk to me about your feelings." Like, right. And then you're an adult. So, like, how do you do that?
So for me, like, okay, so my parents are from Korea. Right?
Okay.
I'm first born in America. My dad, Koreans are like, he's hardcore. Well, he passed away 9 years ago, but he's like hardcore, traditional, like masculine male. So like he would hit me all the time. And if I cried, he would hit me more.
Oh, see? That's what I'm saying.
But if I didn't cry and I sat on the edge of the bed when he's like hitting my head and like throwing me around and shit, but I just sit there like angry, just like just fuming, he wouldn't hit me anymore. So I learned to use anger as a source of strength and a protective shield, because that was the one time he wouldn't throwing me around anymore, right? So it
Damn.
trained me. So it took years, decades to get fucking like a.
Hey, give me 1 second. 1 second. I'm still here though.
Okay. Yeah. So it took me like 12 years to really, because I'm 30, I'm about to be 31 in July.
Okay.
But it took me like 12 years to really get that shit out of my system. Now it's always kind of there a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the blueprint.
Yeah, it's trauma.
Yeah, it's exactly childhood trauma. So I heavily went into healing that childhood trauma about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And that's when things really changed. But here's the thing. But like what a lot of guys do is we tend to say, it's been long enough. I'm fine, but we're not actually fine. It comes out in these little ways that we don't notice because we're so fucking used to it, whether that be like being extra controlling towards the significant other, or getting triggered and getting really mad at somebody for saying something that isn't that big of a deal if you really look at it objectively. But something about that triggers us to be like, oh, are you like you're fucking trying to test me, like, right? Like that type of shit, like not being able to really let go and be free. I think it all ties in with just the lack of acknowledging that we all got fucked up.
Word. I mean, if this is too personal and if you can't share it, then it's all good. But
no, get as personal as you want. I have nothing to hide.
Because you related to the female aspect twice. Is that like from a personal experience? Is that something that you have dealt with in the past? All right, so like let's go back to that though. Like, so then like when did you get to that point where you were like, all right, like, yo, I have an issue, and I can't keep like doing this. I can't keep treating somebody like this, or like I want to become better. I want to be better. Like, who did you seek, or were you even like cool enough to even like hit up Keith? Yo, like Keith, I'm going through this.
Yeah, so the last relationship I was in, which ended about 5 months ago, Keith was actually there for like the whole tail end of it when it was just bad. And we didn't even really know each other that long, but we like really connected because I think we met at the right time. I'm sure Keith can say that himself too, but I came at a point there where I was just, I didn't have anything else to hide anymore. I was just fucking tired. I just put it out there, whatever. Let people think what they think. And then, right, Keith? Like,
yeah.
Word.
And speaking of like, and I think that's where in the beginning you asked like what is a man to you? And that's when I brought about the openness. So how I knew Mike, first of all, was like, Mike obviously is a funny dude. He does the stand-up thing, but that's just the exterior. I found to know who the interior is in him. So he was open. He was like, yo, he got comfortable with just talking with me, another man, about, his relationship problems. It's like, yo, this thing is happening, this and this. What ideas do you have, or how do you think, why am I going through this? So it's always that question. And a lot of some men don't go to other men. We're, like you said, our dad teaches us that it's just us. We got to hold that.
My man got beaten for crying.
Right. Exactly. But that's society too. You know what I mean? Like you might, you know what I'm saying? You might cry. They might look at you like, yo, you're not supposed to do that. You a man. You're like, no, this is what we go through. This you see it on the TV. Like sometimes when you hold it so much, it's even a deeper issue. Some of these guys are just committing suicide. It's out of nowhere, just off like divorces and stuff. When you think they're okay, they might look good. You ask them, "Oh, how's your day going?" "Hey, I'm good." Then the next day they pass away. How? Suicide. You know what I'm saying? Just because expressing yourself and people look at that as like weakness, being underrated to do. Like, no, that's expressing yourself is huge. And being transparent, especially with what Mike was saying, just being open. Your father, like saying, doing those things of hitting you and stuff, that obviously that doesn't take us anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm going off in a tangent, man. But that
Okay.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Word. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Mike. Also, yeah, because you kept connecting to that. I just wanted to get like a little background on that. Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah. I actually never really write questions, but with this subject, I did actually, and relating to crying. Like, when was the last time you guys cried?
Oh damn! Last week. I was like, oh, and I didn't know I was crying. I was like, oh, and I was gonna stop there, right? Because that training from when I was a kid, like, oh, put that shit down, like, shove it down. But I was like, no.
Is this the comedian in you?
To cry?
He said to cry.
Or yeah,
Cry.
or like that what you just said. Were you trying to be funny, or this is true? Like last week, you actually did.
No, I'm dead serious.
Oh, okay. Why though? Like, okay, elaborate, please.
So, I actually cried maybe like 3 times since the lockdown started.
Oh, because of so this has
No,
to do.
not because.
Oh, okay.
Since the lockdown started, and you know, we as men, we get a lot of our energy out, whether it be through a creative endeavor like a podcast or like music, or the other avenue is exercise, right? Lifting weights, boxing, whatever it may be. But what I've learned is, there's like levels to releasing this internal stress, but none of those truly tap into the emotional aspect of where there's like the shit that's trapped inside. That, yeah, you could get your anger out by lifting weights and all that shit, but nothing can get out that last bit of shit that's there, like letting it out.
Yeah,
because it's just one pool. It's a pool of shit. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm crying because like I was depressed or this. No, it's just there's an energy that's trapped that cannot get out unless I let it out. I was even lifting, like I was here's what happened recently too. I was lifting weights and I was pushing myself past the point of like where my body was tired and my brain was about to be like, no, like fucking stop. And I kept pushing it. And then my face started making a face where it was like my body was hurting, and then I felt like I was gonna like jizz my pants and cry at the same time. It was crazy. So I kept pushing, and I was like, ah! And I was like feeling euphoric, but like I was gonna cry. It was weird. And then I cried a little bit, and maybe a little bit pre-cum came out. I'm not sure.
Yeah, guys. Yo,
you literally let it all out.
Yeah, literally.
Word. But okay, so but like you create that space for yourself where you are able to do that.
It took time, and it's still a bit of a struggle, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay, Keith, you.
See, you saw me. I was like, I'm like, I'm pausing too. I'm gonna give you a real ass answer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. These are the conversations that we need to start having.
And the reason I'm doing this too is that this hits basically last month. Last month.
Okay, talk to me about that.
I remember it being last month, and usually I hate when people cry. Actually, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Why do you hate that? Why is it so like? Why hate is a strong emotion? Oh, word, my bad. See it. Why?
Because my mom passed 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And she was my guide to strength. You know what I'm saying? She was my guide to confidence. You know what I'm saying? And when she passed, everything left.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? At me as a person. So what happened was just a cloud of darkness. and she passed when I was 10.
Oh,
so
wow.
my childhood, and this is 20 years ago. I'm already telling my age. I don't care. I'm 31. Gonna be 30. Gonna be 32 this year.
Hey man, you're Asian. You're Asian like fire wine, bro. You're good.
Hey man, it's the beard. It's the beard that makes me look older. But when I shave this off, dog, I'm 20 years old. You hear me,
bro? Black don't crack. You're good.
Exactly.
You're good.
You feel me?
You're good.
So, oh yeah, nah, I know, man. So, when I was 10, darkness was my definition. Hey, someone wanted to tell me, oh, how's your day? I didn't know how to say it because my mom was that source for me to express myself properly. You see what I'm saying? So when people asked me something at that time, I was like, I don't know. I was very silent, shy. So I'll start crying. So when people, they'd be like, yo, I never saw you as an actor. You know why? Because you remember me. I was always angry. Always angry. Always wanted to fight.
Tough.
And I was tough. I was 225. You remember me? I was swole. I'm 185 right now, brother. You know what I'm saying? 225. So people like, yo, oh man, big key. Nah, you know what I'm saying? But the real one was that when I was lifting, the reason why I lifted is to try to get all those emotions out of me. All those times where I couldn't speak. So that was my outlet of lifting. So that's why you saw me. That's why I just wanted to be big, and kill that. You know what I mean? But the reason why the reason why I cried last month is honestly the passion that I have for acting.
Okay. You're getting your actor back. Okay, I see you. Okay.
No joke.
Okay.
So, I was, but this is real. I was actually doing a monologue. I sent something through, and it was emotional. It reminded me of the struggles. That's why I'm telling y'all my story. It reminded me of the struggles that I went through as a child, not expressing myself, crying because my mom wasn't there, crying because I didn't have an outlet correctly. So when I performed this monologue, it just brought me back. It brought me back to where I was as a kid. It brought me back as being vulnerable. So I displayed that on screen, and I had to just, and I just recorded my monologue to send, as an audition. But it's after that, I was just like, wow, it's even hitting me right now. It's even hitting me right now. Man, it's just something that I had to deal with. 20 years of not being with my mother. I had to accept that, and that made me pause for a second, and I teared up some more after that, because after that I thought about my mother. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing this for her, basically, and that's why I'm out here. I'm out here in the West Coast in LA. But just to make it short, not too long, that is why I cried. Basically, the acting came out, but then even thinking about it deeper, me as a person, it just brought me back to where I was, and I'm proud of who I am today, because when I look back, I'm like, dang, I could have done this, done that, but I can't live with regrets. That's why I'm doing everything now. You know what I mean? And that's the message that a lot of people have to take. Just do it now. Don't worry about what you did in the past, or are they going to like this or that. Just do it. That's something else though, but just do it. That's for y'all. But yes.
Word. All right. I just noticed something on Zoom, and I hope I didn't fuck up. But I just saw that Michael's mic on my end was off. Was on mute.
Yeah, I saw that.
Damn. So I hope it recorded everything he's been saying.
No. It just came. He muted it. It just came on.
He was the one that muted it, because I
muted it because I wanted to be able to keep talking, and then I wanted to clear my throat.
fucked me up. Okay, all right. Okay, cool. I was about to say. All right, cool. All right, I'll edit it. I'll edit it out. But okay, all right, dope. Wow. Okay.
I thought you were gonna talk to me about the My Hero Academia poster.
I know. I was gonna see if you.
Yeah.
I was gonna see. You know, I got the. You know.
No, I actually didn't
Hero.
peep that. I see that. I see it.
My Hero. I'm on season 4.
I am on season 4 now too.
Episode 78. That's where I stopped. This episodes after that. I think there's 84 right now. But yeah, My Hero, man. I love that anime.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So,
for all you anime fans out there. Okay, all right, word. So getting back to that, so like both of you actually experienced you guys have like a similar experience, and you guys use the same kind of method to let it out as an outlet, which is working out and weightlifting.
yeah.
So like, all right, so like these are clearly things that you guys developed from a young age and had to grow in and like go through it and go through the process and become who you are now. So like, at what age, at what point were you guys like really like tested? Like your emotions were really tested, and like what was going around you where you really had to like look at yourself and be like, yo, like, why do I feel like the way that I do?
I got you, Mike. Go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know how I said 2 years ago, that's when I really dealt with my childhood trauma.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, the reason why I went heavily into it is because I was going to hang myself.
Oh. Wow. Chill out, Mike. No. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Are you... Damn.
Yeah, so that came from, I was taking all these jobs because I felt like I had to. Like that I hated. And
talk to me.
I created my whole life. I remember, dude, like I was always trying to make people laugh since I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
My mom would tell me that's like what I would do like from before I could even really like speak, I guess. And then my dad, he would punish me for being a creative. I remember in preschool I would draw all the time, and he's like, "What do you want to be when you're older?" And I said, "I want to be a comic book artist." And he's like, "Son, you're not going to make any money doing that." So it made me feel guilty as fuck for being an artist. And then fast forward to high school. Like, so, how I said I was very familiar with anger because I wasn't allowed to feel other emotions. So I was a very angry child. And in high school, I was whistling at my friend's house, and his mom's a singing teacher. And my friend was like, "Why don't you try singing? You can hold you can hold a tone, like a tune." And I was like, "Okay." So then, then I'm learning singing from her. And that was the first time that I was like, fuck, I started to make sense of emotions, but only when I was singing. If it's a sad song, I could release the sadness. If it's a happy song, I feel happy. Right. And then my dad, he caught me practicing at home one time because I waited till he left. And he came in and he's like, "Oh, you sing?" He's like, "You should practice more. So right, he would take that and then like as if it was his thing, he's like, "Practice more." And then one day I got my report card, it wasn't good enough for him. And I took singing classes with the friend's mom once a week on Friday after school, okay, for like an hour, maybe 2. And then the grades wasn't good enough. He looked at me and he started screaming. He's like, "That's all you do. All you do is sing." Right. So I felt guilty. So I stopped going. And funny enough, because that was the one outlet I had to feel normal. Then I got into drugs.
Oh.
Yeah.
What type of drugs? Hold on. Damn, hold on. We're gonna get back to the drugs. Keith.
Oh, Mike did everything.
We'll get to the drugs. Damn, Mike, this is crazy. Yeah, Keith, please share your.
Ask the question one more time so I can make sure to give you a clear answer.
I said, at what point? When was that point where like your emotions were really like tested, and you had to like look at yourself and be like, yo, like why do I do certain things? Why do I act the way that I act?
Man, you going deep today, huh?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get deeper. We're gonna go back to the drugs too. We're gonna go back to the drugs.
That's why this is needed, huh?
Yeah.
This is good. I need this. Well, there are,
Therapeutic.
yes, it is. There are different parts of my life. And the first, before I expressed myself with the whole mom thing, but passing away. But honestly, I talked to some people like my sister, my brother, and I let them know, like, I really didn't have a childhood, to be honest with you, because when my mom, before she passed, think about this. I'm 10 years old, right? She's on her deathbed, and she talks to my father. Hey, I can't remember what she said to my dad, but she then calls me. She's weak. She's like, Keith, I want you to take care of your brother and sister.
Oh, of course, you're the older one.
I'm 10. I'm not 18. I'm 10. And I'm like, okay. Didn't cry. I was like, I got you. But I knew what that meant.
Yeah.
But then when it did happen, I knew, like, I didn't want it to happen, but I kept trying to have faith. I was like, it's not, the doctors are going to do well. She's going to come back. So when it did happen, that's when I realized right there. You know why? Because, and I'm going to be real here. I really don't talk about this part, but it doesn't matter because I'm here. After that, I picked up a knife. At 10 years old. At 10 years old, picked up a knife at 10 years old, and
damn.
I was contemplating right there. No, and I was serious. I was serious. I was like, this is 10, and we see things in an article, children as young as 8 killing themselves because of things that happen at school, the pressures of school, But in this particular situation, this is the dealing with the situation, with the death of my mother. So when you asked me that question, I actually felt that right then and there at 10. So then again, that created, I didn't do it, obviously. I'm still here by God's grace. I thought about it, and I really wanted to. And, even after that became anger. That became, writing things on a note, writing some poetry just to get off my head. And I honestly actually thank Tupac for it, believe it or not. And to be real with you, like, musicians raised me. Musicians raised me to who I am today, because I listened to such artists as Tupac, because you could tell he has suicidal thoughts. And if you want to talk about being a man, to even put that on a piece of paper and perform that, and people rock with you, that is being a man. That's being a man right there, to say I had suicidal thoughts, I had a Glock to my head, and saying that to millions of people around the world, and then millions of people resonate with you. I thank him for that. You know what I mean? And I actually thank him for me being alive today. Honestly, Tupac. Believe it or not, Tupac. He's the, like, I know it's, I never said this the way I'm saying it right now. He's the reason why I'm acting. Believe it or not.
Word.
Obviously, I could rap. He's the reason I'm rapping. But when you see him perform, in Juice, Gridlock, in Juice, you saw his passion right there. Above the Rim, you saw his passion right there. You saw that, and I was like, you know what? I could do that too. And I promise you, if that man was still alive today, he'd probably be one of the best actors out right now, and that's facts. I can say that 100%.
Word.
100%. Not only just being a great rapper, obviously, the best rapper, arguably. To me, he's the best rapper, hands down. But he would have been the best actor. But see, I'm going off in a tangent. But after, when me realizing it at 10, obviously there were things going in my life. And I remember at the age of 20,
Mm-hmm.
I was actually working with Brito at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was at IHOP. And he would look at me crazy. And this is 2010. He'll look at me. He'll be like, "What's wrong with you?" And the reason why I say what's wrong with you is because I would say my thoughts out loud. And people look at me like, "Yo, are you crazy?" So I'd be like, "I got to change. I got to change." You can ask him this. I would say that out loud while I'm at work. I'm like, "I got to change. I got to change. I got to do better." Because at that time, I was in a bad relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know who I wanted to be.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? I could tell me working, I wasn't fulfilled. I didn't feel any type of fulfillment in my life. So I knew from there, I was like, man, I have to change. And with me changing, I had to figure out what I need to do in order to change. So yeah, even though I had the 9-to-5, I had great money, this and that, very good money, I still didn't feel that fulfillment. You understand what I'm saying? That fulfillment. So even there are more parts, even as recent as me moving to California, which now would be 3 years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm as open as can be. I got laid off in 2017. People ain't open about that because, where we from, Kenny, where we from, people are defined by their jobs. But are you defined? What have you done as a human being? Can you express yourself as a human being without your job? So now, what's crazy and unfortunate during this quarantine, people are in touch with themselves. So they have to dig in who they are. So it's not just about, you see what I'm saying? It's not just about
preach.
It ain't about just the job. It's who you are as a person. And now they're figuring it out because we have to. We have to stay inside because of what's going on. You see what I'm saying? So now that they're in touch with themselves, they're like, oh, it's not the job that defines me. It's, oh, maybe I'm an artist. You know what? I'm going to do this. You see what I'm saying? So, I didn't, before all this, I didn't feel that fulfillment. That's why I was like, you know what? Let me make my dream happen. Because when my mom passed, I was like, you know what? I could do that. I could be an actor. And I knew that at the age of 10, I wanted to be an actor. And I didn't want to pursue it because back at home, I was frowned upon. Ain't nobody an actor. Who's acting back in the DMV like that? It's not a big community. It's a somewhat of a community, and that's no shot. That's just me being real.
Yeah,
you know what
I mean, I don't know that many actors, and you making that leap to LA is kind of crazy, but yeah,
right. But even take it a step further, the creatives. We need more creatives in the DMV, and there are creatives, but where's the shine? You know where the shine goes to? The shine goes to, oh, where do you work at? Where's your 9-to-5? Hey, the first question is, how you doing? What do you do? That's the first thing. It's not like, oh, what are you passionate about? What is the podcast that you're doing? People don't ask you that. What is the show? What would you like to do with your life? So that was my perception growing up in life. So if I had a goal of acting, I couldn't do it because the thing was to go to college 4 years, get a degree and work, and that's it. For the people that doing that, fine. But for me, I have so much passion that wasn't mine. You see what I'm saying? So I knew how to change. And the ultimate change came 2017 when I got laid off. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately getting laid off. And I had the decision to continue working and move to a location in Charlotte. But I said, no, it is time for me to go.
Word.
So now I'm doing it.
Word. Again, you guys have a very similar history.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's Asian, I'm black.
Yeah, to say the least.
You know,
and you guys use your artistic ability to express yourselves, which is dope, and I appreciate that. But the reason why I asked that question is I also wanted to get a little deeper and ask you guys like how in tune are you guys to like your insecurities when it comes to who you are as an individual?
Mike, go ahead. You know, we're going back and forth.
And I mean, let me elaborate that a little bit more. So like you can get like you can paint the bigger picture, and that can evolve in anything. That can insecurities in like again, you guys spoke about careers, insecurities and experiences with maybe significant others. It's just like personal insecurities, like how in tune are you with yourself? I guess that's the question.
Yeah. So going back to the lockdown thing, what Keith was talking about, the lockdown revealed the truth of what everybody really is. Because they cannot hide behind a fucking job or put themselves in this hierarchy. Why else would they say, what's your job? Because they need to be able to place themselves somewhere in the hierarchy. Because without that, they don't know who the fuck they are.
Exactly.
They have no real identity. And now that so many people are out of work, they don't know who the fuck they are. Some people find themselves, some people get more lost. Now, for me, for instance, I've learned that, I always would say, stand-up comedy, number one thing. That still stays true. I want to be a working stand-up comedian and making a bomb living off of traveling. Right? And the acting thing actually changed a bit. Before it was like stand-up and acting, and then like that was it. But now the acting, I love acting, but I'm replacing that with going heavy in social media so that I have more power and control over myself as an individual. Because that's what I found that I like. I like being able to keep creating shit.
Oh, actually, hold on. For you, deep dive on that a little bit. Like, how is that life in LA though? Because, like, again, like DMV, social media is not that big. People don't really understand the grasp and the benefits of YouTube, and again, people like frown upon. You guys are in LA, so you like again, Keith, you've been on the big screen. You're doing your comedian thing, and like break it down right now on the Jiggy Show and paint that picture with people so people can actually understand that. Like,
Michael, I mean, it's crazy you brought that up because I'm gonna pass it to Michael. He's the perfect guy to answer this question. You know what I mean? And I can answer as well, but Mike, I feel like go ahead, let him know. Yeah. So, you being humble right now. You know what I'm saying? I already told him what's up, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the whole social media game is it's interesting because that's another way people put themselves on the hierarchy, like the numbers, right? And I will kind of in the back of my head do that to people too, when I have many followers. But so I know Keith brought it up, but basically in this quarantine, for some fucking reason, my TikTok just blew the fuck up. So from March 28th, I had 5,000 followers, okay? From March 28th to now I'm at like over 160,000. Yeah.
What content is in your TikTok?
It's a mixture of comedy and very serious topics. I just say everything, relationships, what it's like the Asian experience,
Mm-hmm.
stories, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just basically whoever the fuck I really am. I decided to put it out there. And there's a bunch of trends where they do stupid dance like that fucking bullshit. Like I hate that nonsense. So I told myself like I'm gonna post whatever the fuck I want, and if I don't go anywhere with it, fine. At least I'll die. I'd rather die on my feet than on my knees, and that's how I practice my stand-up too. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to be like these other chumps selling their soul for some fucking throw some little pennies and shit. I don't want that, right?
Word.
Funny enough, by me doing that, by me being myself at like 100%, that actually blew my shit up.
Word.
I have loyal ass fans. Like I have
Word.
legit fucking fans.
Word. Word.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, oh, man, just to go off of that, man, just me, do you hear like some lawnmower shit in the back? Okay, cool. All right, that's just me then, cause like, all right, as long as y'all don't hear it, that's fine. Nah, but just meeting Mike on set, I said like 5-6 months ago, I was like, yo, this dude, this is my dog. People need to know this guy because he could save people's lives. And honestly, it's a blessing that he has that platform of over 160,000 and growing. Because I tell him all the time, I'm like, man, like you just might look at it, and I know he doesn't, but I'll just say it anyway. He might just look at it as like big numbers, but each number, that's a person. And people go through different things. People might need that inspiration. And Mike has become that inspiration.
I like
if you
it.
think about it.
I like it.
Yeah, and you think about it, some people need that boost in life, and they're like, you know what? Let me go on Mike Kim Comedy's TikTok. Let me relate with him real quick. And boom, they got the boost because of you. You know what I mean? And blessings to you keeping it growing, and obviously blessings to the Jiggy Show of keeping it growing too. I want all of us, you know what I mean? All of us, because we doing this right now, but at the same time, we're doing it because we real, and we want people to know the realness. You see what I'm saying? Like, and obviously we're not selling for pennies either, because I've seen Mike's comedy, and this even more. He's told me he's done over 300 open mics, and I'm like, what? And in the span of what, Mike? In the 300 open mics in the
a year and 3 months.
And what?
A year and 3 months.
I look at that and I'm just like, think about 300 times in the span of 15 months. So you're driving 300 times for your passion.
Yeah.
Other people will look at it as crazy. You're insane. Which I do. You're insane. But like you crazy for that. But I respect that.
Word.
I respect the time that you put in for that, because that gives me motivation to not stop what I'm doing. Kenny's show gives me motivation to not stop what I'm doing. He's been doing this for what, 2-3 years?
Yeah.
Exactly. And you kept it going.
Still going.
Still going. Still going. Letting these people know. And you know what? You know what's good though? I don't know. This is a appreciation as well. I don't, my fault about that. You're giving people a platform in the DMV.
Word.
Not just working, but because I see you have many different guests from a variety of topics that you bring up and a variety of different people. And it gives them that opportunity to speak where sometimes I know they probably never even imagined them being interviewed or being talked about. And that's a big thing, man. When you really look at it, that's a big thing. And me, Mike and I, we were on Voyage LA, right? Everyone, people get interviewed for that. But when you think about it, you were interviewed. So I know people are like, wow. So I can look back to see what I said is wow, So I thank you for creating this platform for that,
Word. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, always.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Mike, but no, that was thank you. That was big love. Big love. I appreciate you. Mike, go back to that question though. Like you still didn't go in depth in that.
Sorry.
Going back to that question about being in tune with your insecurities, and then Keith, you next. Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Oh yeah. So I always take the long route before. Okay, so basically, my head has not always been shaved like this. What I had for the past 10 years, I would have a fade, a high fade,
Okay.
high and tight right here, and a boom, keep his top part long, a little longer, right? I put it like a 4 on the top, 1 on the sides, fade it in. But now I just shave it down. Why did I do that? Because during quarantine, I had to face myself and felt everything. I realized what Keith was saying. I was going hard as fuck with the stand-up, right? Always going around 300 times on stage in that year and 3 months. But without that stand-up, then I had to face myself. So it was a mixture of me working hard to achieve my dreams and to improve and grind it out, but also escapism. Then without that, without the laughs, without the focus, I gotta go. Then I felt everything. And then for 3 days I felt overwhelming anxiety. I felt fucking nuts. And then that's because all at once it just hit me, whatever the fuck there was. And after that three days I felt like, oh shit, like enlightenment. And then I was like, well, since I'm dealing with all this stuff, what's one insecurity that I have not dealt with? Right, because I've always been, I've had all kinds of insecurities. I dealt with it, but the one that was left was the fact that I have wrinkles on the top of my head. It's called cutis verticis gyrata, CVG. It's a medical condition which I know you've seen some people like those like big dudes walk around. They have like wrinkles on their head and shit. I have that. So I'll keep the top part long, even though it's fucking annoying. And I've always wanted to just shave my head low. Right. So check this out right here. See, I got this right here, and on the back, right here, right. That's it.
Got you.
And the more I hit it, the more it became this monster over the past since high school, 15 years.
Wow.
So I figured, let me face that shit. Let me put it out. And I was talking to Keith. Keith helped me out a lot because I was like, hey man, does this look weird? I was so man. He's like, nah man. Fuck yes, He was like that. And it's been like this for maybe a month now. And now,
have you been outside? Have you interacted with people? What have people been saying about it?
Nobody says shit. You think they would, right?
No, I would not, because no one. Yeah, I feel you, but like, I feel like you should have been done that. Like that's something that if people are concerned about how your head looks, people need to find other things to be concerned about. But
that's the point. The point is we have these insecurities.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
He's like crazy, like, oh, I can't let people know I cried yesterday because I was watching anime. That's fucking gay or something like that, right? I cried watching My Hero Academia a couple days ago, but
okay, so tears is a thing. Tears just flow.
Yeah, it just comes out. But ever since I did this shit, it made me even more confident putting myself out there further on social media for fucking millions of people to see.
And that's been working clearly.
Yeah, because I was hiding it though. Even when I shaved it, I stayed inside. And when I go outside, I put a hat on. I justify it. I would say, oh, well, there's sun. There's too much sun. I gotta protect my face.
It's too much sun.
Yeah. And finally, I was like, what am I fucking doing? Even today, I was gonna wear a hat while I was running. Or while I was walking outside. And I was like, no, come on. Train yourself. Because the thing that you feel the most resistance towards is the thing that you're supposed to fucking do. Yeah.
That's
and
a
now
bar.
I have way more.
That's a bar.
Way more.
That's dope. So that's dope. And man, round of applause. Round of applause for you for that. That's dope. So dope. That's dope. Not for real. Like that's really dope. And Heath, please share.
Insecurity I had to deal with. Shit, we all got them.
Exactly.
Obviously. I'll be real, man. My dark skin.
Oh, whoa, okay. This is interesting. Let's go. Talk to me.
Yeah.
In Hollywood? Is it because of Hollywood?
No.
Okay,
Actually,
okay.
it's actually more embraced in Hollywood, which is crazy. Because I'll just walk around, right?
Mhm.
And I got random people that'll come up to me and be like, "Thank you." And I'm like, "For what you mean? For what?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "What? This is real."
Uh-huh.
And I've had this a lot, actually. They just say thank you. I'm like, "Thank you for what?" Oh, because your skin is beautiful. Your dark skin is so beautiful.
Word.
And I'm like, wow. Because growing up, it was shitted on.
Oh, okay. Talk to me. Talk. All this childhood trauma, man. That's crazy. Let's talk.
I'm being real. It was
Uh-huh.
shitted on.
Dr. Bob, I'm listening, fellas. Talk to me.
No, it was shitted on. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's, the jokes here and there. And of course, the whole light skin and dark skin thing. I
Mhm.
get it. So that's what we on. But it was like an everyday thing. And I was like, damn, dog. At the point, I was like, yo, am I ugly? Because you know why? Because of what people think. And I look at it and I look back, I'm like, hell no. Yo, I'm beautiful as hell. And I'll say that real. I'm beautiful as hell. You feel me? Like, I
Word.
would say that shit. As
Hey,
a real man,
hey, talk
I'm
that.
beautiful as hell. You know
Okay.
why?
Mhm.
You know what I had to come with? How could I have been insecure about my dark skin when I know the history behind my dark skin? I know my history.
Mhm.
I'm a pharaoh.
Mhm.
I call myself a pharaoh. I'm the first people. I'm the first person.
This
You feel
is
me?
this is where Mike goes. This is where Mike goes. Yes, King in his comedian voice.
I am. I'm black.
Yeah.
I'm black. I glow.
Yeah.
My skin glows. I'm shining right now because my skin glows.
Word.
And I had to accept that. I was like, man, what the hell was I thinking when I was younger, man? And now I'm in Hollywood. Look at the people on screen now.
Mhm.
They dark like me.
Mhm.
And they own.
Mm.
We own. You know what I'm saying? And how could I be insecure about that? Because I know who I am, and I know who I am as a person. And it took me some time to realize, this and that. And some people, I can even go even deeper. I know some people that bleach their skin.
Mm. This is in Hollywood, not VA, right? Oh, DC, right?
It's in VA and DC, brother.
Oh no! Wow.
But bleaching skin is worldwide. They do that in Africa, in the continent. I'm not even calling it in a country. They do it in the continent of Africa because they're not secure of their skin tone.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I love my skin tone. You know what I mean? I love it. And I'm like, I think about, I'm like, why did I think like that? You know what I mean? And we're loved. Any skin color, we're loved. It doesn't matter if you're light skin, if you're dark skin, if you're pale and this and that, you're loved either way. And the thing is, when I was younger, I didn't know that because of what people said. So I always put what people say at the top of what I would think.
Mm.
Because I knew I had what it takes. But because people say, oh, he don't have what it takes, or nah, dark skin is ugly, then I thought dark skin was ugly. And I'm looking myself in the mirror and I'm dark skinned. How could I hate this? You know what I mean?
Word.
So that was the process of not even just skin color, but just not listening to people. Understand your path. Understand your path and go to it. Because I've had people block me. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, what? Mike is singing? Oh, Kenny's got a podcast? Yo, you're stupid. Those are the type of criticisms that we'll have as an example. I'm not saying that's happened, but or maybe it has, whatever. But we don't listen to those because we know our path. We know our pathway. And for me not to go off, I'll go back to the question. The insecurity, and I can be as real as it can be, was the dark skin. But I know I glow. The melanin is real. The sun beams on me. I love it.
Word.
You feel me?
Word.
Let's go.
So does the lamp. The lamp.
That's really a point. So like, okay, so it's really hard for us to be vulnerable amongst ourselves, and even with each other. And okay, but when it comes to, I mean, right now, are you guys in a relationship? Keith, I know me. Yes, Keith is in a relationship. Yes.
Of course, you already know it.
Keith is taken, and Mike?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We're we're exclusive. We didn't say like girlfriend, boyfriend, but like it is. We're just talking to each other, nobody else. So basically, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so like perfect. So like in that state, in your relationships, like how comfortable are you guys, or how often do you guys, or do you guys even do it at all? Show vulnerability to your significant other.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah,
you have to.
Does that make things better?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You know, in the moment, you know, it could be hell in the moment, but at least you dealt with it during that situation. You know what I mean? And you can realize while you're speaking, say if you have a, you know, argument as something silly as, you took this space in my room and I needed this part. You know what I mean? So then you're going to have a conversation. You're like, no, I needed this. I'm just giving a little example.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I needed this, da-da-da. It's hell in that moment, but then you understand if you know who you are, then you understand. You're like, you know what? Okay, I get it. That's silly. All right, so what I need to do now is that, you know what, instead of complaining about the space in my room, let me share it with you. You know, let me share this part if you need it. You know, that's you know, and there are many other even more crazy situations, obviously, that relationships go through, but just with that, you have to be vulnerable. So for me, if there's something wrong, I can't, and I won't hold it in. I let her know. I'm like, hey, I'm dealing with this, and you know, da-da-da. And then we have a real conversation. We'll talk for like 2 hours, and she'll be like, okay, da-da-da, this and that. I'm like, all right, cool. And we've been civil. That's how to be civil. People are different. Just let your emotions and let yourself be heard. Because if you're not going to let yourself be heard, obviously, you know what you're doing. You're hurting yourself, and you're making yourself crazy. Simple.
Okay.
Simple.
Okay.
Go.
Yeah,
Okay.
Keith has been saying that, you know, from the moment that I met him, right? And that's something that I still have to work on.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me.
Because he's right. Like you have to fucking put it out there, and it's the tough stuff that people don't want to do right away because it hurts, but it has to be done so that there's no resentment. So you can move the fuck on forward, right? And that's why my last relationship failed, because she couldn't be very honest, and neither could I. It was tough. It was just a lot of bullshit, a lot of childish nonsense. And with this current one, it hasn't been very long at all. So we're not to that level to where we have those like challenges and obstacles, right? But since I learned so much from all the previous ones, especially because of the last one, I was like, fuck, I'm not gonna hide anything anymore. I even told her like, hey, I got this shit on my head. I'm just letting you know. And she's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. And I was like, yeah, but I'm just letting you know. She was
letting you know.
Yeah, like I you know, just to put it out there, because something about doing that just made me feel better, even if she already knew and didn't care. And then I remember a few days ago, she called me and she was like, hey, I have to tell you something. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, what is this? Like, oh, what is she going to say, you know? Because every time somebody says, I have to tell you something. And she's like, okay, I don't know if I held back the truth or if I lied about it, but I haven't been able to stop thinking about it for the past few days. And I was like, and she said, I still vape. And I was like, that's it? That's all you fucking do, right? Like, that's right. But I appreciated that communication, that straightforward shit, because she knows that I don't like smokers, like girls that smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's on the way out. Like, she used to smoke cigarettes like I did. I quit cigarettes too. And then she's just vaping. And I was like, fuck, it's cool. So I really appreciated that honesty instead of just keeping it hidden. Because even she knew. She said, yeah, it was making me feel weird. And I was getting weird when I was talking to you because of that. So I knew I had to say it. Right. And then, right, Keith, you can attest to that. By you guys letting that shit out, saying what needs to be said, it allows you to go back to base normal, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
And, don't make it as complex as what it seems. And that's what we all tend to do.
Okay. Talk to me.
You know, it's hard. This is probably one of the hardest things to do in life. Being simple. That is probably the
Super
hardest
facts.
thing. Seriously, because our mind goes in many different pathways. It never goes straight to the point because we think of so many possibilities. So, with my life experience and the life tales I've told y'all a bit, I also had to change my mindset there because my life used to just go zigzag. Okay, but if I do this, then I do this, then I do this, and I did that in relationships. That didn't work because once I did that in relationships, my mind would express myself outwardly and say, okay, but if you did that, then you're going to do this. But it did that makes you look crazy, right?
Okay.
So because I'm discussing with her different situations that hasn't occurred. What? You see what I'm saying?
Hey.
So in your most simple, right? So in your most simplest of form, basically, if I do this, then this will happen. But if it does, to do, you know what I'm saying? And there right there comes communication. So it doesn't. And one thing we had to get away from is that, how can I say this without sounding like an asshole? I say this in the nicest way possible. You can't worry about what the other person thinks, when you want to express yourself during the time, because when I used to think like that, I would not say anything at all because I'm worried about what the other person's feeling. And obviously, and that backfires on you. You're taking a backtrack on your progression in life as a whole, and that hurts you. So,
but they do say be cautious of others' emotions and feelings, though.
Right, and I was about to go there. So, if you're expressing yourself, you're not just gonna be an asshole like, yo, da-da-da, da-da-da. There's a way. There's always a way of doing anything.
Word.
Anything. So if you're expressing yourself, you don't want to come off like an asshole. Like, no, it is da-da-da, da-da-da. Like, hey, you have to look at yourself. If you're confident and secure with yourself, you look at yourself and be like, okay, you know what? I know you do this, but I don't like it. Is there a way that, we can compromise in on this situation? If we can, we can. If we can't, then we can't. There's always a way of delivering a certain topic or something that's wrong. And that's where also people get it mixed up. Okay, I might tell people, yo, just go ahead and say it. Then they're like, all right, I'm going to say it. Woo, woo. And then they just go crazy. No. But just as your point, Kenny, there's always a way of other people's feelings and emotions. So we have to be accountable for that once we express ourselves during that confrontation. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Word.
Yeah, without injecting that emotion, which is why we blow up, because we hold it back. We don't say it when it needs to be said.
Right.
Right. So, to add to Keith's point about just not worrying about how they feel so much. Because when I would do that in the past, I would end up resenting them. Because I'm like, you're holding me back. But they have no idea. I'm holding myself back, but I'm blaming them.
Right.
You know,
That's a bar right there too.
It
Where
becomes toxic as fuck, and then you start getting passive aggressive or overly aggressive, and then it makes it get even weirder. And because they're returning that to you because they're like, where the fuck is this coming from? Then you blame them even more, and it's this vicious cycle. This is loop of hell.
back and forth.
And what you said earlier, toxic, right? That's being toxic. That right there. Yeah. That is straight up what it is. Yeah.
It's lying. It's lying. You're not being vulnerable and honest. You're fucking lying. And you're doing a disservice to that person and the relationship by not being real.
And you know what I can say? I can say, my bad, Kenny. I'm just going to say this real quick.
No, go. Hey, please. I'm listening.
We can't read between the lines.
Okay.
That goes for men and women.
Talk to me.
You know, and the thing is, that goes for both genders, obviously. Everyone's included. Okay. We all can't read between the lines. You know, we say what we say and we get it right there. Because sometimes, you know, I might assume that this one person knows what I'm talking about. And when they don't know what I'm talking about, that's when, you know, I can go off what Mike was saying. That's when I get upset. That's when I get mad. And I'll be like, what you mean? You're supposed to know this. But whole time, I didn't say what I had to say to them. Because, you know.
Facts.
Yeah, man.
Word.
Yeah.
So, like, but, like, it takes a lot to be that mindful. It takes a lot to be that aware. It takes a lot to be, like, in tune with yourself like that. Where you can, like, recognize those things and recognize those flaws. And I asked you guys earlier about your insecurities, but now, like, let's focus on flaws, because as human beings, and especially in social media, we all always paint ourselves as better than, or we are perfect, and we don't have flaws, and everybody's perfect, everybody's God. So, like, when it comes to acknowledging our flaws, especially the flaws that affect others, how do you guys process that?
Flaws that affect others?
Yeah, like there's internal flaws like consumption, going back to the drugs that you spoke over earlier. But like, say you have a flaw that is like it's external, it's something that may affect other people. And how do you process it? How do you acknowledge it? Even if it's something that like comes with an ego or with a bias. This is how I've always been. Type of thing.
Good point, actually. I'm not gonna lie. When she said the thing about the vaping thing too, for a second, there's a small part of me that was like, "Oh, she smokes." It's not cigarettes. She's quitting, yeah. But like, there was part of me that was like, and the reason why is because I was feeling kind of weird about it was because I was a former smoker, and what I would do, and I used to do drugs, right? So not even with her, but other people that I know that do drugs recreationally, I would judge them hardcore because I'm projecting that shit. But then I got to myself and remind myself, hey, I'm the motherfucker that was smoking blunts 24/7. I was high from morning until night, doing ecstasy, sometimes 2 days in a row, not sleeping. You know, getting fucking blackout drunk like 4 times a week. You know, I even smoked meth one time.
Oh my God.
I hit the fucking pookie, man. I hit the pookie.
Bro, meth?
Yeah. Yeah, I smoked meth before, man. And I did some other shit, and I can't. That's why, yes, that doesn't define who I am, but it is a large part of how I evolved to who I currently am in present day.
Oh, yes.
All those experiences, right? So I had to remind myself. So although I came a long way, that's still a part of me.
Facts.
So who am I to fucking judge these people who are not doing anything bad to me, who are actually really great people that I enjoy being around, just because they want to have some fun in their own way? Who the fuck am I?
Interesting.
I'm not some god. I'm not Jesus.
Word.
No.
Word.
Right?
Word. So judging is a flaw.
Judging that's part of controlling. I struggle with control issues because I got that from my dad. My dad had massive control issues. Okay. And something that I learned over the years is I can't stop it. It's just there. I like things my way. And it ties in with my stand-up. Why the fuck did I go so heavy in stand-up? Because, improv is with a bunch of other people. I hate that shit. I hate leading my power up to these other fuckers, who I do. I like them. But, like, I didn't like that. I was like, I want to do my own shit. I can control this. So what I learned is, I'm going to kill the spider. But what I learned is...
Don't kill the spider, man.
Yeah, I already fucked it up. So anyways, what I learned about myself is how you can use that so-called flaw as a strength and channel it.
Mm-hmm.
So I channel it now towards my creative endeavors. So for instance, like with my podcast, I like shit my way. So I don't have an editor. I don't have somebody shooting my shit. This includes skits, everything. I do everything on my own. I'm a one-man team because I like it a particular way. And by me throwing myself into that shit and then working on that throughout the day, I exhaust myself of that controlling behavior for that day. And then I can relax. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I see that.
I'll edit something for like 2 or 3 hours in a day and then shoot some other videos for another 2 hours or something my way, the way I fucking want it to be. And then, since I throw all that controlling behavior into there, because I have a certain amount per day, right? Like we all have a certain amount of energy per day we wake up with. We have a fuel tank. But then we have these other fuel tanks that might be a little bit smaller, but still need to be addressed. And so I have my main fuel tank for all the energy is like in my car, right? That's the gas. But this controlling energy, this fuel for the controlling that tank, it's smaller. It's a motorcycle. I gotta ride that shit. I gotta deplete it of the gas, and that way I feel good because I rode the motorcycle, and I got the fresh air.
Yeah, you in a way are using it. I guess. I mean, I guess we can deep dive a little bit. It's okay. You're using it as as a coping mechanism, and I get like the energy tank example you use, but don't you think it is a flaw in it just by having that control? Is there any way of completely relieving yourself from that so you don't even need to subconsciously or subconsciously have a gas tank?
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's a million times better than what it was before. So with dating.
Yeah.
Like, I would manipulate to get shit my way, but then I've learned to let go, right? It's just you learn to let go, but no matter what, there's still always a little bit of something there, right? Like
I see what you're saying.
That crazy temper. Like I used to have a really horrible temper.
Mm-hmm.
I really resolved a lot of that, but I still have that intensity. That's there. So I channel that into my. I see what you mean, but like that stuff is always going to be there. It's always there.
Yeah,
because it's the blueprint of how we were raised. So we it gets a little bit better. We learn how to deal with it, but that shit will be there. So that aggression that I have, that's what got me to push through to stand up when I wanted to quit the first 4 months when nobody wanted me to fucking be there.
Got you.
It suppressed me. They didn't give a fuck. I would say, what's up? I saw this dude like 8 times. And this is one example out of many. And hey, man. And he's talking to 3 of his buddies, and he goes like, oh. And I try to fist bump him, and he's like, oh, okay. Like a fucking 30-year-old goes like, yeah. And it infuriated me, right? It brought out that shit from the past, and now I was like, you know what? I'll show you then. I'll get so good, you can't deny me.
I feel that. I like that.
I pushed it so fucking hard. The dudes that didn't want to say what's up to me because they were doing it for years, I'm better than those motherfuckers now. And I produce a fat ass show. And they come to me asking to be on my goddamn show. And I'm like, I remember you. I remember you. You don't get that. I don't say it, but I think it. So I push myself every day and use that anger at first, right? I was like, fuck, man. And I'm not saying anger is a great fuel to use, but instead of me self-destructing. Because if I didn't channel that, I would have combust internally and not done shit with it and stopped. Right? So I kept putting that shit out there. Bah, 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 bah. And now I don't get nervous at all. I don't get shook. I know what the fuck. I will do stand-up anywhere. I don't give a fuck.
You can't.
And I'm not.
You can't be shook, man. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not with stuff that you love to do, man. Not with stuff you love to do.
Right. Keith, please elaborate in your experience and your flaws.
I'm gonna show y'all something. Give me a second.
He's giving us a tour.
All right, so my flaws.
Mm-hmm.
My flaws. I brought out some, interesting things. I say, yo, Tupac, you got the anime in the back. Look at this, right? You see this?
Mm-hmm.
This is Vegeta, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you think of Vegeta, you think of ultimate strength, right? That's the guy. To me, he's my favorite, but they always go to like Goku and stuff. But to me, Vegeta is my guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I showed Vegeta with this question is because I don't tolerate weakness. And I have to be a little bit more, and I've learned throughout the time that I need to be a little bit more sympathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I do see people at like their weakest moment, and I do understand, you know what I mean? But the thing is like what it does, it brings me back to my weakest moment. And I just don't like seeing that from anybody, to be fair. You see what I'm saying? Because if anyone was like at their most down moment, I'm going to be the one to be like, look, man, like, you got this. Don't go down there. It's like when I say don't go down there passionately, it's like I'm talking to myself, my younger self, because I was there. And when I see someone at their weakest point, it reminds me of what I used to be like, and I don't want them to be at that point ever. You see what I'm talking about? So that right. So that's just the motivation in me, which sometimes it comes out a little too harsh, but it's the love that I have for people because I went through that, because I was at my weakest point as a kid, pulling out the knife and contemplating suicide. You know what I'm saying? And when I see people like that, it hurts me. I don't want them to ever be in that situation or just even be in a weak moment. I'm going to remind them like, look, you got this. Whatever you're going through, you got it. You got this, and I'm there. I'm there for people as much as I am for myself. I'm there for the people around me, for the ones that are close or just someone that needs any help, So again, but one thing I do need to tolerate a bit more is just be a bit more sympathetic, because I found, just because I brought the Vegeta is the guy's like, what, you're weak? Ugh.
the epitome of toxic masculinity. He is definitely
he's not. He's actually not. You know why? Because he's turned around.
Facts,
Dragon Ball Super.
Facts.
He's shown his vulnerability. He has a daughter, and you see him like, let me hold the daughter, and you're like, Vegeta holding the baby? Okay, Vegeta, like he's growing up. You know what I mean? Of course, he was the toxic guy in the beginning, but as over time he grew as the family man. Like, he's tough on his son, but his son understands that, and he doesn't hate his dad. He's like, you know what? I appreciate you, Dad. So yeah, I'm bringing it into anime, but as the anime head of me. But honestly, like, I'll bring something real quick. Like me, Mike and I, we had a conversation, and I literally, and he remembers, he tells people this, I was talking to him, and I just got so fired up to the point where I like poked his chest.
Yeah, he won't.
I was like, boom. Like, I literally went like, boom, boom, like with two fingers. I remember this. I was like, don't you think, you understand me? Don't do that shit. I don't know why I talked to Mike like that day, but he'll bring it up. He could attest to this. He's like, man, dog, that shit hurt. I was like, oh, my bad. It's just I was like, it's just the love that I want for you to succeed and not think about your most down moment and move past that shit. That's who I am. You know what I mean? But obviously, what I need to work on doing that is just to be just calm down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's me. That's one my major flaw. Like, understand everyone is at their weakest point. Even me. We all have weakest moments. I do too. So, you know, that's what I got. This is what I got. Yeah.
It's funny that you said that because I was going to say that. I was going to bring that up. The whole finger fucking thing. I was about to bring that shit up.
The finger. That's a terrible way of calling it.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? I appreciated it because I
the finger fucking thing.
Yeah, please reword. Please reword.
Okay.
Oh man.
The manly index finger.
It was two. Look at me. Look at me. It was two fingers.
That's hilarious.
Now that okay. Yeah, but like I appreciated that because it was. I think it has something to do with me just being like caught up with my ex, and I hit her up when she was already disrespecting the fuck out of me, something like that, right? And then he's like, don't you ever do that again. And I was like, damn, keep that hurt, man. That was just your finger. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, if you use your whole fist, you know.
Yeah.
So,
man.
But it's funny because that we get stuck in our heads, right? Like, why do we feel so good when we go outside into the sun, when we feel the wind, when we exercise? Because it brings us out of our head and into the present body.
Talk to me.
You can't get anxiety if you're present. You can't be nervous or regretful if you're present, right? So that like fucking jab to my chest brought me to reality. I was like, oh damn, okay.
And we need that. But yeah, go ahead.
Sometimes we need that.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the by the way, thank you for like being this open, and being this free on this podcast for people that don't know you and might judge you, and I commend you for that, both of you.
Let me tell them something. Damn you, damn you. I don't give a damn what you think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here, and I'm gonna be here. And you know, I'm not saying this in no cocky shit, but I know where I'm gonna be. I know where Mike's gonna be, and I tell him this all the time. And I know where Kenny's gonna be. And you go on the TV screen, you're gonna go on the movie screen, you're gonna see me. That's facts. So you could judge all you want, whoever's watching this, and if you're not judging, I love you for that. You're a real one. But for the ones that are like, yo, this nigga's weird, F you. How about that? All right? Take that. Tag me in. Yeah. You said what?
Tag me in.
He said, "Tag me in there. Let me say something."
Tag. Go ahead.
So you wanna talk some shit,
right?
You think because I'm Asian, you think I'm a big? I got game, bitch.
Talk to them.
You want to judge me? You want to judge me because I moved back home with my mom and she makes Korean food and I eat it? Okay, and I'm about to be 31. I moved back home so I could pursue my dreams.
That's right.
Then you bitch.
Talk to him.
My average size penis.
Hey, we got to tag Kenny in. No, we got to take him. Tag him in.
Oh no! I actually wasn't done. I actually had one more question.
Okay. I was like, this is a chance you could talk your shit too.
No, but like going back to the original question. So, what is a man? How do we define a man? Now, after going through an hour, close to 2 hours of conversation. So like,
yo, you think you a therapist or something?
Yeah.
Going back to that's some therapy 101, psychology 101 shit right there.
Yeah.
We had a whole conversation I was about to cry and shit. You know what I'm saying? But talk about my past. He's like, you know what? Now the first question that we're gonna go back. What is a man? You there? Get the fuck out of here, man. With your...
Dr. Bob, I'm here to do.
that was real though. I fuck with that, man.
Sick of this work shit.
Yeah, man. Yo, that was real. That was I had this. That was good, man. So man, that was great. So hopefully my answer changes while we actually went through all this. You know, basically again, knowing who you are, the questions that you gave, you know, the questions that you asked us, knowing your flaws. So thank you. Knowing your insecurities. It's not just you, it's other people around you, whether you're in a relationship or not. But other people can be affected by the way that you feel. So if you're down, knowing that you could affect the person that could be down as well. But just know, be secure with yourself, be secure with your thoughts. And if you're expressing them, express it and not a way like, express it like somebody, you know, is a human as well. Like, you know, if they, like, you know, you got to be in touch with their feelings too. So as a man, again, be responsible, do what you have to do, talk when needed, be complex, but most of the time be as simple as possible. And this is what I took, and be open with your thoughts, just so you won't conceal it. Because you would think concealing is a good thing, but it's not. You'll go crazy, insane. So, yeah. That's just, you know, the whole thing, you know? So that's how I feel.
That's dope. That was dope.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that. That was very, I like that.
You put me on the spot, man,
I
so
like
I had
that.
to do it, man.
I like that. My guy, Mike and Ike, please.
Mike and Ike.
Mike and Ike.
Please.
By the way, I appreciate that you felt comfortable to call me a little nickname, but that candy sucks dick. I don't know who made it. I don't like it, but I like that it rhymed. Okay, so
Mike and Ike. Yeah, Mike and Ike sucks, bro.
Yeah, they suck, man.
That shit is ass, bro.
It's terrible.
That shit is ass.
Keith, you should put that as your Meals Thursdays. Two terrible candy, two terrible ones, and then see
Mike
who's
and Ike or Twizzlers.
something.
Twizzlers are better, yeah.
Oh yeah. Facts.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put yeah. Okay, but yeah, we going off. My bad. Go ahead, Mike.
Twizzlers suck dick too. They could all suck.
Yeah, they suck, bro.
Yeah, with
It's
teeth.
trash.
A lot of teeth.
That's uncomfortable.
That is very uncomfortable. But
That shit hurt.
So Keith said a lot of what I believe that what a man is too, but also a man is not afraid to be honest at all times, no matter what he feels, what he thinks, what's going on, what he wants. He communicates it. He acknowledges it to himself. He accepts it. And he embraces it no matter what the fuck it is. And he doesn't step on people's heads to get to where he wants.
Yeah.
Right? He does it with respect, with honor, and standards. He holds himself to a high standard. Right? No matter what the circumstance.
Word. Okay.
We can have all the money in the world, but you cannot buy self-respect. Being vulnerable enough to admit to yourself as a man what you really want and pursuing that without any regret or apology, because a lot of times we don't do what we really want to fucking do because we are afraid of being judged, even though it's our true desires, because we're afraid that we might not get girls. We're afraid that other men will not show us respect. I'll give you a quick example. My uncle, on my mom's side, he never really liked me. I'd show him respect with the Korean culture, bow, say all that shit, talk with the formal language.
안녕하세요.
Yeah, he never fucking acknowledged me. Good shit, Keith. Right? And when he'd ask me what I'd do, like before I started pursuing my dreams 2 years ago, I was doing digital marketing, right? I was making money. I could have made a lot of money, you know, but I was so miserable. And he'd ask, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm doing the marketing. It's just me and my team, blah, blah, entrepreneur." She's like, "Oh, that's good. That's good." But I was doing that from a place of weakness to try to appease somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And fast forward, then I was like, you know what? I know what I want. I'm pursuing stand-up, just my whole social, everything. Like, I'm pursuing my fucking dreams, even if I die broke. Right? So what do you do now? I said, "There's a how's work?" And I just straight up just said this for the first time in my life. First time ever in like 29 years, I think, by that point. I said, I looked him straight in the eyes, no hesitation. I said, "I left my job behind. I'm pursuing my dreams until I die. Stand up, everything, whatever I love, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do." And I just said it like that, and he looked at me. He was like,
"Wow."
And then, funny enough, I got more respect from that guy. He's a surgeon. I got more. He lives in fucking OC. He gave me more respect, and he started coming at me with some shit like saying, like, "Oh, did you hear Sandra? Oh, I think she did stand-up comedy before. She's a Korean actress on Grey's Anatomy." Then he started trying to meet me. He felt my strength.
That's dope.
Instead of me coming from a place of weakness and putting myself on a hierarchy.
Yeah.
I got to that point where I don't give a fuck who judged family. I don't care. I was in my mind before I said that. I told myself I'm willing to cut out even my family if they don't support or care or judge me by it. I don't care. You know what?
Yeah.
I was gonna hang myself. So why the fuck do I need the acknowledgement from these fuckers, family or not?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. Hey, man. Yo, Mike, what you said right there about going for it, going for your passion, I come to realize, like, before I moved out here, I was like, I made a game plan for myself. I was like, yo, in 1 or 2 years, I'm going to be that. And obviously I wasn't. There's obviously steps to become. No, I'm serious. I was like, I'm going to be the biggest actor in 2 years, which is impossible. You know what I mean? So when I didn't get it, I was pissed. But you know what? I was like, yo, why do I need to be pissed when this is my life? And it is going to take time. So what it came to, I was like, you know what? I don't care if it takes 5, 10, 15 years. It's something that I love to do. And when I make it, I make it. But it's not even a point about making it. It's a point about doing something that you love. And that's what I'm most proud of. So, Mike, I'm just, based off what you said, that's why I was just like, I was feeling that. I was feeling that, bro. I was like, that hit. You see the two fingers, that hit.
Damn.
That hit. I'm
different.
doing that shit to myself.
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get way more respect from people of all income brackets now.
Mm-hmm.
I tell them I'm broke. I tell them I live with my mom. Right? I'm not ashamed of that because I know what I'm fucking doing. I see the long game. Like Keith was saying, this is like, things will fucking change. And anybody that's judging me, they judge me because they already put themselves in their head on a hierarchy. That's why they have to put other people on that hierarchy to make sense of shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only fucking reason. People that are actually happy, men that are actually comfortable with themselves, do not judge other men. Because once they start doing that, they're little boys. Because they're pussies. They're weak. Right? Why the fuck else do you have to do that? Why don't you focus on making some shit happen instead of hating on people? That's
exactly
weak
number one, baby.
Activity, weak behavior. It's poison.
Yeah.
You're shitting in your toilet and dunking your face in it, going like, damn, I feel good. No, you don't, bitch. You have shit on your face. And I know you smell it. You smell your own shit because it's on your lip and in your mouth.
It's on your lip. It's on your lip. Oh my God.
Look in the mirror and say, hey, I put my face in my own shit. I think it's time to wash it off with some soap.
Facts.
Hey. Jealousy gets you nowhere, dog.
Indeed.
Don't look at the just put, and it, you know, it all, to go off what you said, it's energy. So you can take that energy. You could literally grab it and use it for good. Don't use your energy for jealousy. Use it for progression. Grab that energy, put it in your soul, and move accordingly. Move righteously. You know what I'm saying? Those are for the people out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep on moving, man. I love y'all.
Word.
Let's go.
Fellas, thank you for coming through. Thank you for being yourselves. Thank you for being true. Thank you for putting yourselves out there. Please give out your info, your social, wherever people can find you, whatever you use. And yeah, man, let the people know where they can tune in. Again, shameless plug, Keith has been on All American. Tune in, watch my guy. My guy Mike will tell you everything. I haven't seen any stand up, but I will definitely tune in. Please send me to YouTube or where I can see and peep it. But yeah, man, yeah, give out your socials.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, so yeah, my Instagram, my personal Instagram is Mike Kim Comedy, MikeKim Comedy, one word. And I post up like funny shit and just whatever I think. And I also have a link on my bio to all my like YouTube, TikTok, like everything up on there. And then my podcast Instagram is The Set Breaker, one word, The Set Breaker.
Appreciate you, Keith. Please, sir.
Yeah, my personal Instagram is the letter K Mills, Mills, MILLS 77 _. I don't know why I have the underscore, but whatever. You know, and then my other for the podcast show that I have as well is Mills Thursdays. IG is Mills Thursdays, all in one word. And every Thursday you get questions on the IG stories, and you can participate on the polls. And I hope to get y'all vote and y'all input. Y'all check it out, and as well as episodes, y'all can check it out from the questions that I posted up. So it's enjoyable, it's fun. You get away from your 9 to 5, or you just want some downtime and look at some fun. There it is, man. Mills Thursdays, baby.
Yes, sir. And again, thank you, fellas, for coming through and being a part of this episode. I don't know the number of the episode, but we'll worry about that later. But also, I want to say, as a fellow podcaster myself and you guys, man, I want to say thank you for keeping it going, keeping it pushing, and keeping it just putting good content out there. And like, I truly enjoy this conversation. And like, yeah, man, my season's gonna be done soon, pretty soon. But y'all hold it down, and yeah, everybody check them out, please. And
we're the content kings. Yeah.
Appreciate you. And we
always.